Welcome to Life in the 1900s newspapers, where we read the actual words printed in a 1900 newspaper. Today is 1905. Today's paper is the Star and Sentinel from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, dated December 20th, 1905. Let's start with this front page ad. The Yuletide gift-giving season is now upon us. What did people give other people at Christmas time in 1905? Let's see. Clocks. Ooh, toys. Yes, toys. It says, "We always have toys, for we would not have the children disappointed, and we have to help supply Santa Claus with toys. We have already sold him a lot, but he is coming back for more. Let the children come in and see what they want before he gives us his last order." Ooh, there's books, games, dolls, go-karts, express wagons, automobiles. Look at the shoe fly. We have them in cats, dogs, elephants, etc., all attractive to the little ones. Christmas gifts in abundance. Groceries. It never pays to neglect the inner man in making out your menu for Christmas dinner. Remember, we have all the finest groceries that can be bought, especially in canned goods and preserves. Ask to see our Ferndale goods. They are the nearest approach to just from the garden vegetables that art and skill can produce. Of interest to the farmers, we pay the highest prices for country produce. We will pay 70 cents in trade for choice potatoes. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas from the L.M. Allman Hardware Store. Buffaloes for sale. In a little pen at the Union Stockyard, Chicago, surrounded by thousands of cattle, there are 7 buffaloes, almost the last of their race, awaiting the butcher's knife. The buffaloes arrived last week and are on the market like common beeves, to be sold to the highest bidder. The bidding was lively between the packers, who desire to give buffalo steaks for Christmas dinners. The bids, however, were not considered high enough by the commission merchants, to whom the buffaloes were consigned, and they were not sold. $400 apiece is the price the buffaloes are expected to bring, which would make the price of a real good buffalo steak nearly $4. Thanks. The Star and Sentinel Force extend thanks to E.W. Stoops, Highland Township, for a jug of delicious cider. Mr. Stoops is one of our valued subscribers and never forgets the boys as Christmas time approaches. Miss Laura J. Spangler, teacher of the primary school in East Berlin last Tuesday, sent home 8 pupils who failed to comply with the law requiring vaccination. A number were also turned from the Green Ridge and other schools throughout the county. His nose vaccinated. A 4-year-old son of Frederick Pryor of Sweden Valley, this state, has been vaccinated in a most peculiar manner. After he had fallen downstairs and removing some skin from his nose, he found a bottle left by a physician which had contained vaccine virus. The boy played with the bottle and unconsciously communicated some of the virus to his nose, which is now covered with a perfect vaccination sore. A ride for his temper. A certain farmer living near the town of Derby, having got himself disliked on account of his quarrelsome habits, the other farmers decided to cool him down a bit. After midnight, the farmer was disturbed by a voice shouting, "Your horse is stolen!" The irate farmer hurried on his clothes and, hastening to the door, asked, "Which way is he gone?" "Toward H," replied one of the farmers. Another offered the loan of a horse he bestrode. The offer was accepted by the sleepy farmer. After riding all night, he found himself at daylight next morning riding his own horse. P.W. Allison of Braddock, son of Mr. and Mrs. Herbert Allison of this place, a brakeman on the Union Railroad, was injured last week by being struck by a train. The accident occurred in a peculiar manner. Allison was on the back of the engine and jumped off to throw a switch. In doing so, he did not notice an engine following the one for which he was riding, with the result that he was struck and thrown against the switch. His shoulder was badly bruised, and he sustained several cuts and bruises. A man's Christmas. What most men want for Christmas is something they can wear. An overcoat or suit would make an admirable Christmas gift. Bring in your measurement, and if the garments do not fit, we'll cheerfully make any exchanges or refund your money after Christmas. Louis E. Kearson, clothier, shoer, furnisher, Baltimore Street, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Abram Barney, residing above roadside and a well-known trapper of that section, found a big wildcat in one of his steel traps when he was making his rounds on Sunday morning. The cat, a very savage one, jumped at Barnes as he approached the trap, whereupon Barnes raised his rifle and killed the cat. Mr. Barnes' trapping record this winter, besides the wildcat described, is 19 polecats, 6 minks, and 4 muskrats. 100 men wanted for work on Gettysburg sewer. Good wages to good men. Fur and O'Rourke contractors. Cuban minister to the U.S. recommends Peruna. Peruna, I can recommend as a very good medicine. It is an excellent strengthening tonic and is also an efficacious cure for the most universal complaint of catarrh. Signed, Consuelo de Quesada. Here's an unusual story. Snake's heart for cure. In order to cure herself of consumption, Mrs. A.D. Hess of Watsontown swallowed the warm heart of a large rattlesnake and is now recovering, whether by mere coincidence or otherwise. Mrs. Hess contracted consumption several years ago and of late was confined to her bed. She was advised to take the rattlesnake cure, and her son purchased a large rattlesnake from a woodsman. The reptile was killed and the warm heart swallowed by Mrs. Hess. She is now able to sit up.